My upbringing is pretty much about guardianship, looking after people, looking after my family, after our guests, and looking after our land and our rivers.
Ko tō ao tō kina koea, tēnā tātou.
History of Taranaki, learning about Parihaka, learn about the link that Te Whiti and Gandhi, for example, had, which makes it quite special for me, living in Taranaki.
And I think it's kind of an important thing for us to be able to reflect on the current moment and to think about the inequities and the injustices that exist in Aotearoa today.
Wānau Māori and tamariki to see themselves as Māori and to stand and be seen and be proud as Māori and to succeed.
You cannot be a New Zealander and be in New Zealand and not draw on the strength that Te Tiriti gives us.
Think about this, the sharing of your homeland with the foreign peoples, the acceptance to give to that other culture. Really truly think, would we do that today if a foreign culture arrived en masse into New Zealand? Would we be so willing to share? How special is that? We are privileged to be of this land. We are privileged to be treaty partners.
It helps me to think about equity, access, participation in the community, and I think it embodies hope for the future.
Me, Pākehā and Māori having equitable opportunities to be successful in their lives, both educationally and vocationally, in whatever platforms they might need.
And I believe that our culture and our society is a lot more richer for Te Tiriti of Waitangi because we've got so many aspects, rich and cultural, that we can all be proud of.
The Treaty of Waitangi to me means partnership, I guess in essence, and while it's an easy word to say, partnership, the hardest thing about that is making it real and making it authentic, and I think that's the challenge for us as a country.
The treaty means to me as a citizen of New Zealand, it is the source of our diversity and our legitimacy to be, for me as a Pākehā, to be here doing what I do as a citizen of New Zealand. I get to do that because of the treaty. That's how important it is.
To me, Te Reti is a permission for all of us to live together here and in dignity.
There's a coming together of different peoples, and I think I'm often reminded in thinking about the history of Te Tiriti o Waitangi that there were many different iwi that were involved. So we like to think of it as a coming together of two people, but I guess in a way there's a sort of a coming together of multiple peoples.
In today's terms, I think it's a contract that has not been upheld by our other treaty partner. Whilst it was documented and whilst it's been reinterpreted by a range of different people, it's meaningless in today's terms for me, because it actually has not been, the contract has not been upheld by our treaty partner.
Te Tiriti o Waitangi is understanding what the people from New Zealand have to offer to people who are non-Māori, and how they live their life and how they expect us to live out our life in New Zealand.
The treaty is very important, I think. I think it's, in fact, it's quite unique. So it doesn't exist in other countries. It's very specific. It shapes the way we are and who we are in this Pacific island.
We're very, very fortunate as a country to have the Te Tiriti o Waitangi, because we are setting an example for all Indigenous people, but not just Indigenous people, but government as well.
As a first generation New Zealander, I'm still getting to developing my understanding of the treaty. And in that sense, it's kind of a living document. and I think everyone's got a role to play in it. It's a promise that's yet to be realised. I understand that acknowledging the past is definitely the way forward.
Before I moved here in California, people said to me, oh, you know, in New Zealand they have the Treaty of Waitangi, which is really held up as a great example of how to work with Indigenous populations and how to work with First Nations people. And it's being held up as an example all around the world. Like, really? When I come here and live and I talk to Māori, and it's much more complicated than that.
The treaty was gifted to us by the tangata whenua, not the crown. Māoridom gifted the sharing of this land, of these seas, of these forests, these waters.
It helps me remember what our people went through. Well, early explorers, the first sight of our people, they noticed how healthy we were, which is a far cry from a lot of our people today who are suffering in lower socio-economic areas.
Te whakaaetanga o ngai tauiwi, o ngai Māori I runga I te whakaaro kotahi. Ko te tikanga ia, kia he momo rautaki, he momo tikanga anō hoki, tūkanga me ki kia whai I te ōranga tonutanga o tātou o Aotearoa, o Nutirini me ki.
It states to us, or to everybody, that there's mana whenua, a mana tangata, mana atua. And those three things are not simple to grasp, but basically it just means there's a type of conversation in regards to honouring how we go through processes.
I think I was always on the side of Indigenous, even though I'm Pākehā. I instantly just thought it was some Pākehā document that was here to make things difficult. I kind of saw it as a way for people to steal land and culture from people. And so I instantly kind of was anti it, I suppose.
And I really struggle to answer this question because it's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's kind of like having a tattoo or moko. You wear it every day. So you carry the history and the heartache, the pain, the sorrow, the joys, the opportunities, the potentials. You carry it. You carry it.
You know, sort of small gestures and small acts of gaining a better understanding of Te Ao Māori and trying to integrate many of its values and its philosophies into what I do. And in terms of my everyday life, I was trying to first of all to pronounce te reo properly. I think that's a really important thing, and to put as much effort into getting it right as I would, you know, any other language that I'm trying to learn. But most importantly, the fact that it is a taonga, something that really takes an effort to be nurtured and to be encouraged within others as well. And I think that's one of the kind of most important ideas, is thinking about how we might not always get it right. We might not always get it right the first time. So that's kind of something that I like to sort of keep in mind.
I guess it's about normalising Māori culture and the values around the culture, and teaching our tamariki to respect those values.
The way we honour the treaty at home is being respectful about te reo, about Māoritanga, about tikanga Māori. You know, my son is privileged to have come up in the education system at a time when it has been way more respectful of te reo, and he has learnt it and learned it well, and so he feels free to, and it's good that he does correct me when he thinks that I've mispronounced. And that's about understanding that te reo and Te Ao Māori is just part of who we are in our communities, for our country, but actually in our homes as well.
Te Tiriti o Waitangi was known to me first through church, very important in my family and my journey, and my church being the Methodist Church of New Zealand, Te Hahiwi Te Reo Aotearoa, and the bicultural journey that the church has instilled in me. I'm able to live in both worlds, the European world or the non-Māori world, and Te Ao Māori, and I'm able to merge that through. I live it through language, some of the rituals. Karakia is very important, not only to myself, but to my parents. And that's something that I've taught my kids and hope they will carry through in their choices of life.
I suppose I should say I needed to go back and understand what the tiriti o Waitangi means to my country, because I was raised knowing those things without even knowing that the documentation was just a written version of my life, of how I lived. I lived on my pa, I lived on the land, I tracked the land. That's what sovereignty is. Like, you biologically come from the land, which means that you uphold the most, what's the word? You uphold the most authority because you're biologically reigned to the land.
I view it as a contract. It's almost like a tenancy agreement. If you think of what a tenancy agreement is about, how you're going to act, how you treat other people, what the agreement is, the terms of the agreement. So in a way, for me, that's how I view it. It's something that is the focus of my life. I've had a copy on my wall of the treaty from the first posters that were produced in probably about 1978. I have that on my wall in my workroom. It is. It's about how we live, or how I live within the community I occupy.
We have certain tikanga in our home that we abide by, and these are little things that, I think honour the treaty. In my whānau, definitely it's about having a positive identity and identifying as Māori and as whānau. My son has a very rich heritage. His dad's American, but he's got Lebanese and German heritage, and I remind him of that. I say, wow, you've got this rich whakapapa. He goes, oh yes, but I'm a Māori mum. I'm a Māori first. And I'm so proud of him that he thinks that. So yeah, we honour it in very simple ways, with music, with arts and festivals, supporting Indigenous artists, supporting other Indigenous cultures, I think being really open and having, the opportunity to be a positive role model within my whānau has been, that's how we honour it.
Waitangi Day is every day for me. Waitangi Day, and it should be.
We use it every day as a family. We use greetings, we read Te Reo songs, we sing Te Reo songs. In fact, my two boys, I've got a 5 and a 3-year-old, Max and Joe, and their favourite music is actually the songs that we learn in our kapahaka at school. I've got a CD in the car, and every time we get into the car, it's play the Māori songs, and they love that, and that's fantastic. And it's something that I missed out on as growing up.
Learning the history of Taranaki, learning about parihaka.
How I honour the treaty is through education, trying to educate my circle around me on what actually is our history, what happened in our history and how the treaty affects our everyday lives. And a lot of people in our society and in our country are quite ignorant of the history. They've always celebrated the Waitangi Day celebrations, but I try and help people look right into what the meaning of Te Tiriti of Waitangi is, the history behind it and its significance in our nation. For me, it's not just a day that we celebrate the birth of our nation, but it's a day that we reflect on past grievances and how we can move forward and make a better society.
E tae ana hoki mātou te pōti, no reira e kare mā i aku hoa, aku wanaunga, tēnā pōtihia. Ia toru tau, koira te wā, ka ora ai tō tātou reo, tō tātou mana motuhake.
By showing empathy and trying to be equitable in my relationships and the work that I do, my mahi, at my kindergarten and in the community. And that means knowing whānau Māori and whānau tamariki that come to our centre and that are in our community, getting to know them as people, their culture, showing respect for them and their culture, and supporting them into getting to know who they are and where they come from.
I honour the Te Riti o Waitangi on a daily basis by acknowledging all people, living by the kaupapa that I grew up with through being of Pariaka, and having that as a cloak that's constantly around me. It allows me to put aside aggravation and not saying that I'm perfect because I'm not, but it allows me, it helps me, it reminds me about who I am and where I come from and how important it is to be the very best that I possibly can be.
Ki roto i tōku whānau, ka whakamana au i te Tiriti o Waitangi, mai te mahi ngātahi o te pāharekeke, nā te hauora o te pāharekeke mātou anō i tautoko i hāpai.
Honouring the treaty is ongoing for all of us. In that lives respecting our past, our present and our future. Within that respect, within the whānau, within the work, the mahi, is respecting the land, the sea, the air, the forests, the birds, each other, committing to each other. Because within it is a promise of coming together. It's a privilege, and it's a privilege that we must maintain, continue to respect, and to continue to evolve, because it's a living document. It is a relationship. It's not just simply a piece of paper that was signed. It's actually something very real, spiritually as well.
I would hope that I honour Te Tiriti every day in my everyday life. I mean, I think it's a bit like setting course with a yacht. You have to make some constant adjustments with a view to a destination that you're headed to. So I don't think it's as simple as, you know, you do it once and then it's done. So it's constant course correction.
What's my recipe for a great friendship? I think at the bottom, the base of any good friendship and relationship is honesty and trust, having good communication, and I think that's where the trust and the honesty comes is just critical to any relationship, that you can be yourself and be authentic and be able to express yourself without fear of a person judging you or rejecting you or, you know, and love you for who you are.
But basically a connection. You have a connection with someone, things feel easy, you feel relaxed around a person. You are able to have conversation where, you know, where you feel comfortable in sharing on subjects that interest you and interest that person.
Friendship kind of depends on you being a good person in the first place, doesn't it? So you kind of attract people of alike, and so if you're doing a good job at being a good person, then it's pretty easy to attract good friends.
Ko te aroha tētahi ki tētahi, te wakahoahoa, te tūhononga me ki o tētahi ki tētahi. Ki au nei, mea kai te orite, kai te taurite o matāpono, o uara, ngā uara me ki wainga nui e ngā tangata, e ngā hāpuri, e ngā wānau, ka tipu ngātahi ai ngā mea e rua.
Time spent with each other. It doesn't really exist if there's no contact. I mean, I could say relationships or friendships need support and love and yeah, but I think the main thing would be, those things must come from spending time, yeah, or being around a person or people, yeah.
A recipe for friendship, I guess to me is one word, it's loyalty, and knowing that unconditionally that you've got their back and they've got your back, and if anything happens they can ring you up and you'll be there no matter what, unconditionally. And so for me, friendship's about that loyalty and that unwavering commitment to do whatever you need to do to make sure you're supporting and helping that person.
A friendship, you know, those are the things, honesty, you know, real truthful, integrity comes into it, those sort of qualities. But when I see some of these around the wall, you know, common values, it's easy to strike up friendships with people who share the same values, human values, you know, cultural values, care about our earth, mother, papatua, nuku, those sort of things.
A great friendship is based on reciprocity. It's about partners being equitable, and that's about equity, not equality. It's about being respectful, about being true. It's about aroha, showing love, and awhi, being helpful. And help can look like a whole lot of different things. It can be physical help, it can be emotional support, it can be acknowledging wairua, it could be acknowledging lots of different things. Friendship is a gift.
Partnership, I was thinking about friendship as well. So for a friendship, I would say respect, thinking well of each other, always doing things with love for each other, being there.
An idea a good friend of mine brought up about allyship and how as tauiwi, as non-Māori, it might be very easy for us to think of ourselves as, you know, as non-Pākehā. So as not sort of being on the side of the aggressor or the kind of colonial force. But I think there's a really important role of allyship and reciprocity that can form and that can be developed as a relationship between non-Māori, tauiwi, immigrant communities and tangata whenua.
Honouring your word, which gives you credibility. And not to be afraid of the differences, which is quite crucial.
Because people have to have the opportunity to talk, you know, they have to have the opportunity. It's got to be safe enough. You've got to have that safety. I think that's another important ingredient. Safety for people to actually share.
Ko te pūtake o te whakahuahua ki au nei, e tai ana te mahi whakarangatira, whakamana, whakapiki te wairua, kia mirimiri haere te tuara, me te kōrero pono.
Honesty, a willingness to be open and to share, and kindness. Wine is also good, yeah. No, I think in friendship, if there's honesty and a willingness to really bring yourself to that relationship, it can withstand a lot of things. When you can admit that you're wrong, when you've made mistakes, and be willing to get up and continue from there, that's true friendship.
Having love for each other, love for everyone around you, holding back that hatred and anger, and using love as your first choice in all matters. And I believe if every person in our society could carry out their lives in that manner, would be living in paradise. And so, yeah, I guess that's a strong message for everyone, is to use love in everything that you do.
Kia mau ki tō mana Māori e.
Taurite.
Understanding.
Respect.
Loyalty. Time spent.
Trust.
Whakarongo.
Success.
Connection.
being there.
Kōrero pono.
Allyship.
Empathy.
Integrity.
Common values.
Honesty.
Aroha.
Moko puna ka puta ka ora taku iwi e. Kia ora Aotea tainui toko maru kuraupo matatua takiti mu te arawa me mi me tangi ki ngā iwi o wa o Maria Maira te aroha e parinini kei raro taipa kei runga tarana ki te maunga koe ane ngā tongi pupu i te hau e ua e te ua kia mau ki tō mana Māori e kia mau ki tō mana Māori